Hello, everybody. So, thank you for participating in Bohewine Rhapsody. And now, this is the fast review of the guideline. Alors, first, each wine grower has 7 minutes to speak, and you may ask your question after each presentation or offline with us. 2. Feel free to use the chat to write any comment and question, and they will be answered by my colleague, Elliot.
Hi, everybody.
So, for any question about sample or anything else, I suggest to speak directly with the wine grower or my team. And now, I introduce you to Odile, who will present each wine grower. Bonjour, Odile.
Bonjour Pascal, hello
Ça
everybody.
va ce matin?
Oui,
Bon.
ça va.
Alors, Odile is from Playa del Carmen. She's on the beach.
Yes, sort of. Only a couple of miles from the blue sea. Okay, thank you, Pascal. So we are still waiting. Oh, we already have a couple of buyers. I don't know if you want to wait. Anyway, please know that this event is being recorded, so the recording will be shared to everybody. So if they were a little bit late or running after the schedule, they can see the first participants. So it's really up to you. So do we start?
I think so.
I think so. Okay.
Yes.
Perfect.
Because the buyer checked the hour, so they arrive when they are for each wine grower. So let's go. Because after they call me.
Okay. So please, everybody, use your mute your phones, mute your computers to avoid any noise to the presenters. So our first presenter, our first winery today is from Germany. And we have with us Eric Dillo from Michel Weingut in the Nahe Anbaugebiet. The floor is yours, Eric.
All right, thank you, Odile. Hello, everybody. My name is Eric Dillo. I'm the Junior Export Manager of Winery Michel in Bad Soelenheim, Germany. I have a little bit of an American background, so I hope everybody can understand me pretty well. I'll just start off by talking a little bit about our winery. It was founded in around 1685 by the Michel family, and the wine growing tradition has been passed on from generation to generation ever since. The current generation kind of took the step towards a quality and marketing-oriented business, got away from the B2B and started doing more to C. And we have a kind of young and ambitious team. We enjoy creating innovative marketing ideas, and we like to develop new sales channels as we go along. And that's basically why I'm talking to you right now as well. Our wine region actually has a little bit of a specialty. The Nahe region is a small wine growing region in Germany, and we actually have the ability to pick any kind of soil from our grounds that you can find anywhere in Germany, so we can choose the different flavors from each different soil and kind of create a playful and easy to drink wine as we go along. So I would start with my first wine, Odile. I can't see my presentation, but I hope that the Grauburgunder is up there right now. Our Grauburgunder Dry has a very nicely integrated acidity. It's in perfect balance with the sugars. It has kind of a golden yellow color when you have it in the glass, and the smell of ripe pears hits your nose immediately as soon as you pick it up. It goes great with seafood and pasta, and it actually has a Landwirtschaftskammerpreis in gold, which is it's a prize that you get from the German Agricultural Department, and it just goes to show, it just, states how high the quality is of the wine. Next up, I have a Riesling. Yeah. The typical acidity that you would expect from a German Riesling gives it that really nice freshness when you taste it. It has typical fruit aromas, and it's grown on the Oberrotliegen soil, which is kind of a red turf that is native to our region here around Bad Sobernheim, and just gives it those typical aromas and that nice freshness in the taste as well. Goes great with chicken and steamed fish or anything that has a little bit more of a light taste and doesn't overpower the freshness of the wine. Also has a Landwirtschaftskammerpreis, but this time in silver. Again, just a little bit to show you the quality of the wine. So next up, I've got a Rotling. A Rotling is actually kind of a special wine. It's not specifically a rosé because it's a cuvée of red and white grapes that are pressed together before fermentation. And that's what makes it not a rosé. It's a Rotling. It's its own kind of wine, I guess. Beautiful red shimmering color, though. The fruity note that comes from the white grapes stays on the palate for a long time, and you get hints of strawberry and raspberry. Just a great summer wine, goes very well with any kind of barbecue, very fun and easy to drink because of its fruitiness. Also has the Landwirtschaftskammerpreis in gold, so very proud of that. Lastly, I got a kind of a typical thing for the Pinot Noir. Not very overpowering since it's been aged and fermented in steel tanks. It has a very mild acidity and a beautiful red color as well as soon as you put it in the glass. Goes great with roasted duck, also with hard cheeses, mature cheeses, a little bit more of a complicated taste. Generally goes well with this kind of wine. And I think that's my time as well. So that's pretty much it.
Thank you very much, Eric. I'm sorry, I had a problem and the application jumped. Something happened, so I lost the sharing. I'm sorry for this. These are the things that happen. So you can see here the presentation, his contact details. So whenever these wines are of your interest, please contact Eric. Now our next winery is in Italy. And we are inviting now Costanza Migliosi from Assisi.
Hi, good morning, everybody. Really nice to meet you all. In this day, it is always new faces, new smiles, and it's refreshing to see that people are in a good time. My name is Costanza Migliosi. I'm the owner of Costanza Agricola, a small family winery located in Assisi, Umbria, the green heart of Italy. Our family has built this passion for grapes and wine for 3 generations, and I'm at the tip of the iceberg of this hard job, deep dedication, and I hope to carry on my passion with my family and my children in the future. The quality of our product was learned from the care of our vineyards, that for the most part is found from the Basilica of Assisi, where we cultivated organic grapes in order to produce environmentally friendly wines. So let's start with our first wine. This is our Assisi white wine, Pietra Rosa. This is for 90% Grechetto and 10% Chardonnay Viognier. Grechetto is a typical autochthonous grape that characterizes Assisi DOC. It is 2019 vintage and 30% of alcohol. At the taste, It is not too dry, but slightly fruity because it ages for 4 months with 5 lees. It is perfect with peas, fish, rice, soaps, and fresh cheese. Let's continue with our bestseller. This is Tignoso. Here we are. This is a CC red wine. So let's have a small tasting of this one. This is for 55% Sangiovese, 30% Merlot, and 15% Cabernet. 13.5% of alcohol, 2019 vintage. The color is ruby red. The scent is vinous, characteristic, with a very lovely hints of red fruits, especially raspberries, cranberries, and a tiny bit of herbal and vegetal hint. At taste, it is dry but harmonic, round, intense and persistent, with good structure, long finish, and with medium plus tannin. Let's continue with another Assisi DOC wine. This is Prepotente. The name reminds to someone that is bullying. All the name of my wines are in dialect, my typical Italian dialect. This is my Prepotente is 100% Merlot, 14% of alcohol, 2019 vintage. It is a brilliant red wine. It has a very interesting nose, subdued for the fruits. It is fresh, like a teenager in his prime, so it's persistently fruity, but still delicate tannic. So now let's continue with our Montefalco selection, because my family at the beginning of 2020 has hired some grapes in Gualdo Cattaneo, a small country near Montefalco. So we have the typical DOC and DOCG's Montefalco wines. We have Avis. This is our Montefalco Red. It is for 70% Sangiovese, 20% Merlot, and 10% Sagrantino, 2016 vintage, 14.5% of alcohol. The color is reddish to garnet. It has also balsamic notes, like fruits under spirits, spicy, and vegetal hints, with forest flow components. At taste, it has medium plus tannin, medium structure, and long finish. Let's continue and let's finish with our Sagrantinos, 100% Sagrantino, named Bagaya, that in dialect means someone who screams when he talks. It is 2015 vintage, 15% of alcohol. It ages for 20 months in French oak barrels, and then 6 months in bottles. It is deep red, filling with a tiny bit of garnet on the rim. It is fruity, but with notes of licorice, vinous, balsamic, with a savory of vegetal herbal touch on nose. So I hope that in these few minutes I pass on my passion for my job, for my homeland. So let's come to visit us soon in Umbria, in Assisi, in order to share you our passion and to valorize our job and our eco-sustainable views. Thank you very much all. If you have any question, you can...
Hello. Yes.
Chat.
Thank you very much, Constanza. That was very clear. That was very clear. So yes, do you have questions? Questions for Constanza? Okay. So next we will move to Alsace. So now we will have Guy Ruhlmann. Guy, the floor is yours.
Yes, I am Guy, independent wine grower in Alsace, in the east of France, a small region. And I'm running the wine estate with my brother since 20 years. My father started it in 1958. We use currently sustainable wine growing processes and have the double certification with TERTIS and haute valeur environnementale. That means it's a high value for environment to keep the healthy for consumer and biodiversity in the vines. Only sell the wines from our own vineyards, and I'm here today because we want to expand our export relationships and know to the American market, because our wines aren't to find in the US. Also, in Alsace, we have 7 traditional wine grapes, and the vinification is always 100% for this grape. For 1 month, we present in the Rosé event show the Crémant Rosé. Crémant d'Alsace is the Alsace sparkling wine, our bestseller today, but we produce mainly some wine white, and of course Riesling is the specialty here in our village. Today I will present 3 different wines. We have more, of course, but I selected 3 wines, and each label of them is according with the range. Also, the first one is Silvaner. It's the classic label we use for the traditional range. And Silvaner is a emblematic wine grape from Alsace. It's not so famous. It's a slow production, but it's an interesting wine, dry, light wine. It's very, very funny, easy to drink, with a nice yellow color with some light green hues. And you can drink it with starters, vegetables, and why not? You can add to drink it as a cocktail with black currant or peach liqueur. Oh, wait, what's going there? Oh, normal, it's a stork. We are in Alsace, and stork lives here at the top of the roofs. He's going a bottle today. Of course, normally it should be a baby, but it's more funny to have a wine bottle. This one, the Cherviller, it's the village appellation, also it's the specific wine from here. We have an appellation village, and it's produced on a gravelous soil. It's a very precocious soil, and that brings all the typical aromas from the Riesling. The color is yellow with a nice bouquet, very, very expressive. And always in the palate, the wine is pleasant with refreshing acidity, but not too much, and with some nice citrus notes at the final. This wine is interesting to pair with meals, and mainly with fishes. Why not oysters or Norway lobster? But you can drink it with, of course, Alsatian sauerkraut, and it's all what you need to reach to paradise. Now I come to the last one. It's another Riesling, but made from late harvest. It's a third kind of label. It's the high-end quality we produce. The exceptional vintages, we leave the grapes on the stocks late in the autumn, and hoping we have some nice and quiet weather to concentrate the grapes, to get the noble rot, to give the specific honey notes to the wine and concentrate the aromas. often the Riesling gets there the bergamot or apricot jam notes. It's very complex in the mousse and very rich. Mainly you have some mango haze or exotic fruits, and the persistence is very long in the palate. It's a wine to be drunk for himself, or why not to pair with a good foie gras. Now I can tell you a few more. We produce 80,000 bottles. And if you are interested, of course, you can mix different wines on the palettes. We have competitive prices, and we always add 3% for free samples to help you to promote the wines. Now, I hope you will consider our offer. Why not hear from us? Let us know if you have some question or if you need samples. I will do to send them, and I hope you find any time the time to travel to France, and if it's the case, you are very invited to visit us to see how we are working and show you the cellar and our vineyard. Thank you for listening, and if you have some question, let it know us. Thank you.
Perfect. Thank you very much, Guy. I hope we will start traveling soon. Now,
You're welcome.
do you have any questions for Guy Ruhlmann? If not, we will move to another Alsatian producer, and it's Olivier Stinty. Olivier, welcome aboard.
Thank you. Dear wine lover, hello everybody. Thank you for your participation. My name is Olivier Stinzy, and welcome in my office. Probably the best place to be when it's warm outside and during these warm days that we get during this August month. I'm wine producer in Alsace, in a village called Husseren-les-Châteaux. We are now on the second year of converting into organic production. So this is our second year. We need 1 more year, and then we will get our certificate for organic production. And when I would like to find new market in the United States, there is different reason. One of these is we are working with a traveling agency called Rhapsody. Maybe you know them. The COVID time, they came here once a week with some groups, 30% approximately. We were visiting the cellar and, of course, having a nice tasting. And the question was always the same. Where could we find your wine in the United States? So the answer was also always the same, is that at the moment we don't have any retailer or wine importer in the United States, but we are working on it. The second reason is also I was working in the United States on a winery, so I have a real attachment to your country and a real feeling and a real sensibility for American people. So that's 2 good reasons. And there is a third one, but the third one is I really would like to come back to the United States and visit the country again. So 3 good reasons, I would say. So the period because of the COVID is not so easy for everyone, I think. And that's why we was working on our wine, on the price for our wine. We squeeze the price to be more attractive, and also for that the retailer will be able to keep the benefits and will be able to propose something attractive too. So that's why we were working a lot of the prices, and we propose now this. We have this Pinot Blanc right here, Pinot Blanc 19. So you can see on the label the name of the variety standing on here. And on the back, we have some recommendation about with what we can bring the wine, which kind of wine it is. And we also have a sugar level, maybe here. You can see a sugar level to inform the customer about what they will get on the glass. So this Pinot Blanc, 3.50 euro per bottle. A nice wine with a very great balance. It's a 19, so we just put it in bottles some weeks ago. We have a very pure wine, and it's a very good value for this price. I think very, very interesting. A lot of fruits, a nice minerality, a nice freshness, a real interesting wine to drink on the terrace. But you can also use them. Of course, I show some tarte flambées, specific plates in Alsace. But you can also have it with fish, seafood, pork, white meat. So a very pleasant wine. And then I have also some other dry wine like the Riesling 19 with a little more of acidity. It's something more tonic, a wine you will more use for the fish or seafood, a wine you need to eat with. And then a dry Pinot Gris. Dry Pinot Gris, even if there is 6 grams residual sugar, but it's nice balanced with this acidity level. So it will be also a wine you can use for to accommodate with your menu, with your plates. It's a little bit more complex than a Pinot Blanc. There is a better balance, a longer aftertaste, but still a wine that you can use or on appetizer or with some plates. And then, because we are in Alsace, we also have this more matured wine, like this Pinot Gris Expression 2019. So we have a little another label for this one. We changed the color a little bit more orange, but also the back label is also on the same color than the main label. Much more sweetness on it. A real wine to get with appetizer, dessert, cheese. A really long aftertaste, even if it's still a young wine. It will be a wine with a lot of structures and a lot of possibility to keep. Like this Gewürztraminer as well, more fruity, more long. And then I will also present you this Crémant or sparkling wine here. 48 months on slates. That will give you a very elegant bubbling, very elegant, very amazing. It's a really, really nice wine. It's something very, very structured, and you will get a lot of pleasure with this. The bubbling is very, very fantastic. An amazing wine. For appetizer, there is some people who are just drinking all the menu with. But we are more using it for appetizer, or why not with dessert. Then, to be a little bit more sweet for you also, like for any order, we will give 5% on sample. So that means if you have a pallet of 600 bottles, you will get 30 bottles for free. Samples you can use to make wine tasting with your clients, or you can use them as gift. That's up to you. But we hope that in this way you will be able to sell more easily our wine. Then, if you have any questions, you are pleased to contact me. I will thank you very much your you of your participations and of your attention. Thank you very much. And I wish you all the best in the future and hope this coming time will be much better than the last time that we get. Thank you.
Super. Merci beaucoup, Olivier.
Merci.
Thank you. Very good presentation, Olivier.
Merci.
Exactly. That's what I was to say. So, do you have questions for Olivier Stinzi? Okay. So, I guess we will move to Bordeaux. And we have with us today the Château de la Grave. Valérie, the floor is yours. I think that Valérie may have lost her connection, so maybe we can move to the next presenter. So the next presenter is Vincent, and I know that.
No.
Sorry, you're
Yes,
here.
Yes.
Oh, awesome! Perfect.
Okay, sorry. It's a problem.
No, it's okay. Things that happen with.
Yeah, it's okay. Bonjour à tous. I hope everything is going well for all in this situation so special that we are living. My name is Valérie, export manager. I take care of the Château de la Grave with my son and my husband. It's not yet harvest time here. We expect to start within a week, 15 days in advance of usual. We are located in the Côte de Bourg area, north of Bordeaux, on the right bank of the history of the Gironde. The history of the domain began as the 16th century, and the history between the Bassereau family and the Château de la Grave in 1910, more than 1 century ago. And since 25 years, we welcome guests in the chateau from April to October, and our clients throughout the year. We have 45 hectares of vines planted on slope all around the chateau, and we are in conversion to organic agriculture for the whole vineyard since this year. It's a démarche that we initiated several years ago, and that we are delivering today with the arrival of our son. The new generation here is very, very motivated to make a difference. We produce red, white, and rosé wine. Red wines are made up of Merlot, Cabernet Sauvignon, and Malbec. White wine, Sémillon and Colombard, and rosé exclusively with Cabernet Sauvignon. Our daily life of winemaker is to use the ancestral savoir-faire and our experience to produce modern and accessible wines to affordable prices. And today we are very, very far from the austere and stale Bordeaux wines. We still continue to age our wines in barrels because for us is really a magnificent tool for making, maturing and refining our wines, and not at all an end on itself. But we also work with wooden casks of 50 hectoliters to get more finesse and smoothness in the tannin. And as you could see more recently, of the terroir from the fruit. So until now, the US market seemed very far away and quite inaccessible for a family estate like ours. So thanks to APV, things are changing, and we are looking now to set up and develop our sale in the US. We are open to more states. And for this, we want to offer to have free of charge the equivalent of 5% in bottle of wine on each order to help you to promote our products to your customers. And also, we will also be very happy to welcome you with us on a visit to Bordeaux. Here, you could see the two historical wines that a lot of people have already adopted, and we have proved themselves in France and in Europe. First, the white wine, Grain Fin. You could perhaps see here is a special bottle, is a flacon bordelais. It's a very original blend of Sémillon and Colombard, not attente Sauvignon Blanc, unique at Bordeaux. It's a dry white wine, fermented and aged in oak barrels for 6 months on the lees. The color is light deep yellow. The noise is very complex. It's a mixture of citrus fruit, exotic fruit, with acacia flowers notes at the end. The palate is rich and long. The wine is really full but never heavy and held by a very nice freshness. For pairings, we could suggest sushi, smoked salmon, fish tartare, scallops, grilled prawns, sole meunière, and also cheese, especially goat cheese and sheep cheese. The second one is a red wine, Caractère. Caractère, it's a blend, here is. It's a same bottle than the white. It's a blend of Merlot and Cabernet Sauvignon, aged in barrels during 1 year. The alcoholic contents for the 2016 vintage is 14.5. It's perhaps interesting for you. The color is still a deep red color without any notes of evolution. And the noise is marked by red fruit, black currants and cherries, with a lot of spicy and pepper at the finish. And everything is now really nice, well melted with the oak. The palate is generous and long, and the finish is nice. We have a nice balance with fine tannin and a good acidity, which really reinforce the elegant character of the wine. And for pairings, you could suggest, of course, traditional charcuterie, grilled entrecôte, lamb, game, and of course, cheese. We also produce other wine, Nectar, created in 1995. It's the expression of the traditional Bordeaux Merlot, aged in wooden cask, full body and racy. We also have the classic one. It's an easy drinking wine, accessible, friendly, and very popular in France. We also have Dolia. Dolia is the name given by the Romans to the terracotta jar, storing the wine, and which today produce a very singular and rare white wine full of subtlety and finesse. The rosé, now homage, imagined by Robert Bassereau, our grandfather, and created by Philippe, is a proof that a rosé can be a great gastronomic wine full of resources. In 2018, we created a new range, a collection of singular wines produced in small quantity. They are original and unusual wines that allow us to explore new tastes and new method of work. So thank you for your attention. Thanks to APVSA for their help. If you need more information, don't hesitate to contact me. And I hope I have coached your interest. See you soon, and bye-bye.
Thank you very much, Valérie. Do we have
Valérie.
questions? Oops. Vas-y, Pascal.
Non, thank you, Valérie. J'ai goûté le vin, mais le château me plaît beaucoup. Hein.
Si vous avez goûté le vin blanc.
Ouais.
Okay, so now we move to Château Belle-Espérance. They are located in close to the appellation. What's the name? Targon. So Vincent, the floor is yours. Thank you very much for being with us.
Hello, I'm Vincent. Thank you for your presence and my show. I'm one grower independent in the region Aubenauge in Bordeaux at the Targon. I'm present my wine, please. Alors, the classic red wine, Château Bel d'Espérance, composition Merlot, Cabernet Franc, Cabernet Sauvignon, Malbec and Carmenère. Vinification in stainless vat. The noise is blackcurrant, spicy touch. At the palate, the balance, ample, suave matter, elegant, and woody presence. A small woody presence. This wine. For accompaniment, a nice piece of beef. The dry wine, it's Entre-deux-Mers Aubenauge, 100% of Sauvignon Gris. It's very special for Bordeaux. And the noise is white flower and grape berries. At the palate, it's very mineral. The aromas of fruity and citrus and passion fruit. For accompaniment, it's aperitif, oyster, and seafood. Next one, please. In my gamme, it's Bordeaux Rosé, Bordeaux Clairé, and sweetie wine Bordeaux Aubenauge, and Crémant de Bordeaux. And my exploitation, it's certificated of haute valeur environnementale. It's a good certification for France. My pink wine, it's 100% of Cabernet Franc. And my sparkling wine, please. Yeah. And 100% of Semillon. This wine. It's a nice. The noise is almond. The mouth is very, very round. I drink all the time. For these bottles, 3 silver or medals. And other, I'm Château Jean Blanc Perrine. It's a small production. It's Jean Blanc, it's grandfather or village, and Perrine, it's wife. It's a very, very strong. Château Jean Blanc Perrine, it's a Grande Réserve, red wine. For vintage 2015. 30% of Merlot, 30% of Cabernet Franc. Aging in barrels 10 months, and for the white wine, it's 10 months also. The comment for red wine, it's beautiful, very beautiful. A good talent and very woody presence. For the accompaniment, a nice piece of beef. The girl, it's 10 months for red wine, and the white wine, it's 10 years. And result, and orange wine, please. Skin contact wine, it's my a new wine for vintage 20 or 20. It's plus 40 degrees, 100% of Sauvignon Blanc, aging in barrels. It's possibility 27 and a good production. And also, pour finir, I have not import in the USA. It's a classic, easy to drink appellation for Bordeaux. Good quality and price. It's very good rapport qualité-prix. I'm a reserve wine and a skin contact wine, and 2 wines for plus 14 degrees. It's possibility for special cuvée and custom label and case. I'm work in network communication and professional tasting wine. Have you got a question for the presentation?
I think you forget perhaps to talk about the price.
Yes, the price.
It's very important.
Je l'ai oublié. For my nice Ranger, it's €2.30 for X-Works. And for Crémant de Bordeaux, it's 40 and 50 X-Works.
Thank you.
I not import in California. And for one moment.
Okay.
And go to the circus for my baby elephant. And see you. Bye. 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 Bye.
Bye, Vincent. Thank you very much. I like the the chess hat. Okay, perfect. So now, bye-bye to Bordeaux. We are moving to Burgundy, and we will receive our next presenter, who is Arnaud Bouet in the Haute-Côte de Nuit. À toi, Arnaud. I think everything is okay.
Yes, I guess. Good morning to everyone, and thank you to be here in such a hard situation for everyone. Welcome in the heart of the cellar, where I just bottling some bottle before it was my turn. So I'm a young producer in Burgundy. The Maison Arnaud Bouet is just 3 years old, so it's very young production. I said maison because I'm a winemaking negociant. The only reason why I am negociant is just that now in Burgundy you cannot buy a vineyard if you didn't win to the lottery. So we have to find some other structures to make our own wine. So I'm a winemaking negociant, but I'm working like a small estate. I am in the vineyard with the vine growers all the year long. We are choosing the methods and the treatments and everything together. And at the end of the season, the grapes are coming back to the winery, to my winery, and I'm making the wine and I'm making the aging, the bottling, and etc. Like a very small estate and artisanal estate, I would say. Today, I'm producing almost 20,000 bottles a year. So I'm working with some vine growers, and they're all in the organic method, organic way to produce. Some are certified, some are not, or are trying to get the certification. But in any case, we are all in some environmental and ecological way of producing. In the winery, for the winemaking process, there is absolutely no input except a little bit of sulfites. So I'm sorry, because I'm Burgundy, I'm always below the 14 degrees of alcohol. I have the idea to get some alcohol to be easily more sold in the US, but it's not the idea of the production. I'm trying to make fresh, refreshing wines to express the terroir, which is the heart of the Burgundy, and express the terroir of each cuvée I'm making. So today I'm present in some states in the USA, but as a negociant, I have the possibility to create almost as many brands as I want. So I can look for every proposition in every states to be not concurrential between every bottle. And I'm looking more for some small quantities, qualitative importers and distributors, because as a good Burgundian guy, I have a huge range of wine, of 16 wines. So in every reference, it's a very small amount of bottles. For the wines, so I have a large range of wines from the generic regional appellation to the Grand Cru, and it goes from 8 euros to 70 euros. So that in every wine in every range you can find the wine you want. I won't bother you to present every wine because there's too much, but in general, I'm trying to make accessible wines. So if you can go back to the whites, Odile, please. For the whites, I'm trying to express the freshness of the Burgundy, the expression of the Chardonnay, which is our main variety. And I'm making in white and in red special cuvée, which is called Iconoclast. So it's almost the same word in English, iconoclastic. It's a special cuvée because I like to make different things to the other colleague in Burgundy. So here the Iconoclast cuvée is a blend of different terroirs to catch every expression for every terroir and blend it. And it's a blend of variety too, because we are using Pinot Blanc, which is quite rare in Burgundy, Pinot Blanc and Chardonnay. And for the red, it's a half Gamay and half Pinot Noir. It gives something really different for Burgundian wine, but something you won't find in another estate or maison than mine. So, like for every wine, in white and in red, I'm trying to get some accessible wine when they are young. So it gives some perfect by the glass wine, as much as in white as in red for the Bourgogne red, or for the Côte de Nuit Village, for example. It's very easy to drink, but with complexity, structure, and a real expression of the terroir. And then, of course, the complexity and the powerful and the elegance is increasing as you are climbing in the range from the regional to the Grand Cru. To be quick, the advantage to work with me is that you can get a full range of wine, of Burgundy wine, with a single producer. For a distributor, it could be interesting. I am making some moderate prices for Burgundy, I would say, for that higher reputation appellation. I had the opportunity to get more volume along the years, because as a negotiant, I'm not blocked by a surface that I own. You will get some young, dynamic, modern style of wine and label. As you can see on the photos, or here, you will see like a quite modern label, but I have the opportunity to give you a more classical label if you need it. Of course, you will get some free samples depending on the volume of each order. And I will be able to be in the USA to help you to promote the wine, and I will be pleased to receive you in Burgundy to visit and to learn more about the wines. At the end, we have lots of guides, medals, and press rewards, and I hope that you will be interested in that wine. And I thank you to be here, and cheers, and have a good courage and good luck for the situation now.
Merci beaucoup, Arnaud. C'était super. I wish I could be in Burgundy.
Merci, Arnaud.
So, do we have
I
questions?
will be able to come.
Thank you.
Yes, I have a question. Bonjour, Arnaud. The Bourgogne Rouge, where do you source your grapes from? Which appellation?
For the Bourgogne appellation, it's just in the Bourgogne area. So it's in mainly in the Côte d'Or. So it's just not very far from here. And there is a small percentage coming from Côte d'Auxerre, which is near Auxerre and near Chablis.
Okay, merci.
Okay, thank you, John. Any more questions? If not, we will move to Champagne. And now Pascal will present Champagne Barbier Louvet. Merci beaucoup, Arnaud. À bientôt.
See you soon.
Hi, everybody. So because we are in full harvest season, Champagne Barbier Louvet cannot be with us, or maybe they'll come say hi at some point, but I'm going to present their wines or their champagnes. So among them, I'll start with Barbier Louvet. It's a champagne it's the champagne estate from Toxier Nutri. south of Montagne in Reims, in the Côte Noire. It is managed by a brother and sister, the Barbier-Louvet. They're independent winemakers, and they're both growing the grapes and manufacturing the wines. So they're doing everything at the in the vineyards themselves. They do all the tasks from A to Z by themselves and working in the vineyards year round, which is really cool as a brother-sister duo. Together, Céline and David Barbier professionally run the Champagne estate, where they harvest and press the grapes themselves. They do all of the vinification in steel tanks, and all of the processes of the appellation are followed there. So the tirage, the bottling, the aging, and disgorging of the wines. They produce 40,000 bottles per year, and they're selling 30% of their production to export markets in Japan, Taiwan, Vietnam, and various countries in Europe. Here are their different ranges. So I'm going to explain their various champagnes one by one. So the first one I'll speak about is the Cuvée Héritage de Serge. It has a beautiful golden color. The nose is tree fruits like apples, peaches, dried apricots, toasted almonds. On the palate, the wine's full-bodied. It's a full-bodied cru. The champagne has the typicity of Pinot Noir on limestones. So the Blanc de Blanc is the next one that we'll speak about. It's got a light yellow color, and it has lots of citrus notes and white flowers. The mouth is fruity, and then the nose is citrus with zingy, like a kind of zinginess, with notes of limestones bringing a sort of minerality, and then the acidity is a medium plus with a great length. You can pair them with almost anything, which is great, and you can also enjoy them as an apéritif or wines. They can also go along with desserts as well. Okay, so we'll move on to the next one, which is the Ensemble Prestige Grand Cru, which is a great wine. It ages 18 months. The robe is a pale yellow. The nose is full of orchard fruits like apples, pears, and grapefruit. So it's really fresh. The wine is round with fruit aromas, and it's a really pleasant champagne that pairs great with any meal from the beginning to the end of the meal. I would really recommend this with foie gras, and it's a blend of Pinot Noir and Chardonnay. The sugar is 9 grams per liter. The next one you can see on the right there is the Rosé Grand Cru. It's called Perlage de Rosé. It has a deep smoked salmon color. The nose is red fruits like strawberries. The mouth is round. The red fruits are really intense in the mouth and generous. It can also be served as an apéritif or along with a dessert. So the next one is Théophile Blondil, founded in the wine estate in 1835. This vintage champagne is yellow gold, highly aromatic, ripe orchard fruits. It has honey and the flavor of toasted bread. So like warm flavors. It's really powerful and generous. The mouth is round, and the aromas on the nose repeat, and the length is a medium plus. Théophile develops exceptionally with fine wine cuisine, scallops, game, fish, poultry, but it can also be served as an apéritif. So that is it for Champagne de Barbier-Louvet. So that's all of the wines that we're looking at today. As you can see, they've won lots of awards. And the really cool thing about this wine, I just want to note for everyone, is that all of their champagnes are biodynamique. So it's even like it's a really amazing environmental standard, even better than organic wines. So they're really reaching a high standard of wines that are being looked for in the market right now. So we highly recommend this. If you have any questions, you can reach out directly to them or us as well. Okay, her contact information is on the screen. Thanks, guys.
Thank you very much, Elliot. Thank you very much. So, if you have questions for Celine, please reach them out. They are harvesting, they're in the pesée and the pressing, so they are quite busy. And now we are still in Champagne, and we will move to Champagne Cuillier. Thank you, Elliot.
So, okay, so I'll also speak a little bit about Champagne Cuillier. So this is another champagne from the area. So Pascal's leaving me again. So Champagne Vincent Cuillier is a family estate located in Pouillon. This is in northwest of France, north of Épernay, you can see on the map. The wine estate was founded in the 18th century and is today managed by Patrick, Marie-Paul, and Vincent Cuillier, a father, mother, and son team of skilled workers. It's a whole family affair. Their vineyards are managed sustainably, where they apply the principles of agroforestry, which is great. Their new cuvée, which we will present, comes from a single vineyard. This house of champagne produces 48,000 bottles a year, and they export to USA, Canada, Asia, and other countries in Europe. So I'm going to do a rundown, like I did with the last one, of all of their different champagnes. So we'll start with the cuvée originelle. Is Brut, 55% Meunier, 35% Chardonnay, and 10% Pinot Noir. It ages at least 24 months. The color is like a yellow straw with golden hues. On the nose, the aromas are stone fruits, quince, and plums with citrus, flowers, and vegetable notes, adding a real complexity. The palate is of stone fruits and the quince. The body is round and the finish is a medium plus. What's wonderful about this champagne is that it pairs with lots of different dishes, so it's really versatile. The next one is the Cuillier Rosé. It's a Brut made from 50% Meunier, 20% Pinot.
Sorry, we are skipping the rosé.
We are? Okay.
Yes, that's okay. So next is the perpétuel.
So we'll go then next to, are we doing the Grand Réserve? Odile? Okay, well, we'll do the Grand Réserve because that's the next one. So the Cuillier Grand Réserve is 33% Meunier, 34% Pinot Noir, and 33% Chardonnay. It aged at least 45 months. The color is yellow with golden hues. On the nose, it has aromas of tropical fruits, dried fruits, and hazelnuts, as well as baking. It's very complex. In the palate, the wine is round and the acidity is really balanced. The finish is medium plus to high, and it pairs with creamy dishes like fish or white meats. It's also available in Magnum, extra Brut, and Brut sizes and varieties. So the last one that I want to talk about, which has a really cool name, it's called Thanetienne. I believe I'm saying that correctly. And it's actually named after a geological era where that formed the stones composing the soil where it's grown. It's actually the last stage of the Paleocene era, which was marked by a huge climatic crisis. So that soil during that time still has an impact on the flavor of the wines today. So this cuvée ages, it's their Blanc de Noir cuvée. It ages at least 35 months, and the tasting notes, The color is gold. The nose is driven by fruitiness of the Pinot Noir, which is equally in the palate. So that is all of their champagnes that we want to talk about today. If you have any questions and you want to contact them, their contact is on the screen right now, and we'll also send it to you at the end of the presentation. Don't hesitate to reach out to them. And if you have any questions, just let me know.
Thank you. Thank you, Elliot. So voila, if you have questions about Champagne Cuillé, please let us know or contact directly Vincent, who's available. Okay, still in the region of Champagne, we have with us Laurent Klepka. Laurent Klepka, are you ready?
Yes, I'm ready. Hi guys, I hope you're doing fine. My name is Laurent Klepka. I'm the owner of Champagne Klepka Sauce, a family-owned winery with 12 acres located in the heart of the Côte des Blancs. The Côte des Blancs gets its name from the grape variety, Chardonnay. That means all my wines are made with Chardonnay. Grand Cru, the Côte des Blancs is Grand Cru. And to give you a better idea of the location, it's located 12 miles south from Épernay and about 30 miles from Reims. First of all, I would like to tell you that I wish I could be there with you guys to make you taste my products, of course, because I really miss the US. This is a long story between the US and I. My first time there was in 1992. At the age of 19, for a 6-month internship on a winery in Virginia. It was such a great experience, and that made me fall in love with the US. And since then, I never stopped coming back, and my American love story would be complete if my champagne could travel as much as I did, as I do, and so I count on you. So now let me present to you my 3 champagnes. 100% Chardonnay, Grand Cru. So the first one that I hold in my hand right now is called Préambule. It's 100% Chardonnay, of course, Grand Cru. 70% of the harvest 2014, blended with 30% of reserve wines, with a very enjoyable nose, with almond aromas and pastry notes. Frank mouth, well balanced, and it pairs very well with scallop, shellfish, fish, of course. It got different awards these last years. In 2017 at the Vinali International Competition, and in 2019 the Vinali International Competition 2, it got a silver medal. So that's for Preamble. The next one is called the Extra Brut. So it's an Extra Brut champagne with 5 grams of sugar per liter, and 60% of the harvest 2013, blended with 4% of reserve wines. Very nice champagne with minerality, with frankness and saltiness, with iodine aroma, and it pairs very well, with aperitif and iodine dishes, and shellfish and oysters, of course, and very good also with aperitif. It also got an award last year at the same Vinali International Competition, a silver medal at this competition. And the next one is a vintage wine. It's a vintage champagne from the year 2012. It's called Milor, and it's 100% Chardonnay, and of course, it is a vintage wine with 100% of the year 2012. So this one has a very, very ample and generous soft palate. It's a very classy champagne that can fit on your table with for aperitif. But it's a well-matured champagne, and it can pair very well also with different dishes like grilled prawns, scallops, and even white meats. Miller got different awards at the Vinali International Competition in 2017. 3 years ago, it got a gold medal and also the trophy of best sparkling wine of the year. So this is a trophy that I got for Miller in 2017 at this competition. So it was a great award, a great achievement. And last year, it got a second gold medal for the year for vintage 2012. It's such a great achievement, and I was very glad to get these awards. So that's the three champagnes I present to you, and now you're going to tell me what are the main benefits to trust in Champagne Club Cassos. So I'm going to give you just a few benefits. It says 7 benefits on the PowerPoint presentation, but I'm going to give you a few of them. The first benefit I can give you is the purest expression of Chardonnay from Auger, from my town, because Chardonnay lies on a chalky subsoil in my town. And of course, the chalk offers to the wine special characteristics such as minerality, saltiness with iodine aroma, and you have a guarantee of authenticity. Taking a sip is like having a bite of a chalk and the soil present for more than and in your mouth, you travel through 70 years of Chardonnay. Because my oldest vine is from the year 1945, so it's quite an old vine, but with great potential and great bunches of grapes every year. The second benefit I can give you is that you can get a very well matured champagne for the right. My bottles go back to my cellar for 6 months storage, and it's a vaulted cellar underneath my house from the 18th century, and that's a perfect place for the bottles to age, and in the end, the guarantee to drink very well matured champagne. The next benefit I can give you is that my champagnes stay on lees for quite a while. The non-vintage champagnes, such as Preamble and Extra Brut, stay on lees for 3 years. And Miller, the vintage wine, spends 6 to 7 years on lees. So this long process of aging gives a great potential to Preamble, Extra Brut, and Miller. And the last benefit I can give you is that you have a service that meets all your expectations and your own individual needs. Because one of the principles at Champagne Club Cassos is to be close to the customer, and I can visit you anytime to improve the quality of the partnership and the business plan. So that's important to be close to you. So that's some benefits I can give you about Champagne Club Cassos. And now I would like also to share a glass of champagne, a glass of bunches of grapes that I've just picked this afternoon, because we are harvesting the grapes for a few days, for 3 days now. And so I thank you all, and I'm ready to answer your questions. And of course, you can contact me and ask the APVSA for my details and everything you need. So thank you, guys.
Wow. Those grapes are great. Thank you very much, Laurent. Do we have questions for Laurent? Okay, so next champagne house is Étienne Houdard. Merci. Merci, Laurent. Those grapes were very nice. I like that. Now we have with us Nicolas. Nicolas, are you ready?
Yeah. Bon,
Excellent.
bonjour everyone.
Yeah.
I am Nicolas Rodic, the export manager of Champagne Etienne Houdard. Thank you for all buyers to attend, and thank you, Odile, Elliot, and Pascal for the great organization as usual. I owe you a drink next time I see you, but I cross fingers for a better situation to travel. So a few words of introduction about Champagne Etienne Houdard. So Jacques Houdard is the second generation of Champagne Etienne Houdard, because so the founder of the house is Etienne Houdard, the father of Jacques, who started the domain in 1958. So let's say we are a relatively young domain for the Champagne region. And so Jacques is currently in the vineyard for the harvest, who started at the beginning of the week, so very early in Champagne. So then we can continue to the next picture for our location. We are located in the village of Brugny, which is in this valley called Coteau Sud d'Épernay, so South Hills of Épernay, which is on the road, for those of you who know Champagne, between Épernay and Cézanne. We grow the three main grapes that you know from Champagne: Chardonnay, Pinot Noir, and Meunier. And the size of our vineyard is 9.25 hectares, which allow us to produce around 80,000 bottles of beer each year. And to be honest with you, I think our sales capacity for the US market is from 10 to 20,000 bottles. So if you need less than this, you can stay online. We can supply you, of course. And our vines are located in two terroirs, so Brugny and Essum. And then this high environmental value certification that we passed in 2018. And we also have this other certification, Sustainable Viticulture in Champagne. And so we go even further than the normal expectations on these two certifications, with no insecticide and no herbicide at all. So then we can move to the to the next one, because we have the specificity to have two different bruts. And so this brut référence, the second one, which is our main cuvée, because we produce around 25,000 bottles only of this brut référence. And in our winemaking philosophy, for a relatively young domain, the specificity is we age our cuvée a minimum of 5 years. And so for our brut référence, the main year today is 2012, plus 20% reserve wine. So this is really one of our strong points, giving complex aromas thanks to this aging. Then you see the Brut Rosé, which was awarded by Wine Enthusiast. This is rosé by assemblage, so with addition of red wine from Champagne, not by maceration, because we feel we have a much better stability, and also an aging on 5 years. Then we can move forward for the next group of 3 cuvées, because we have these 3 cuvées. One is a vintage 2014 Chardonnay. In the middle, we have our Blanc de Noir with 75% Pinot Noir. And on the right, we have our Extra Brut with 2 gram dosage only. And then we can switch to the last cuvée, which is our cuvée Juliana, which is our highest level cuvée in the range. Juliana is the name of the mother of Jacques, so the co-founder of the domain with Etienne. And so Juliana is a vintage 2008 with a dosage of 6 grams, and it was awarded 92 points at Wine Enthusiast with Editor's Choice. So I see, Odile, that you are still struggling with my presentation, but I want it to be dynamic. That's the reason. And then to continue rapidly, because we also have 3 brandies from Champagne. One is Ratafia, second one is Mar de Champagne, and third one is Fine de Champagne. As a conclusion, so we are already on the US market, but only in New York and New Jersey, so completely free for the rest of the US. And of course, we hope we can travel again next year, so either to visit you in the US or to welcome you in Breny, where we have our own guest rooms. So you are welcome there also as professional partners. Thank you for your attention and have a good day. And I will put my details in the chat.
Thank you, Nicola. Yes, this one made me sweat. I suppose I was supposed to remove all the transition stuff, but it was worse than the last time. Sorry.
You need to deserve to go to the beach tomorrow, Odile, I suppose.
No. Just after the event, I'm moving and I'm jumping to the water. Thank you, Nicola. Do we have questions for Nicola? Okay, so de Saint-Gall, we have with us a new house of champagne. Well,
bonjour Odile.
Frédéric, à toi.
Oui, merci. Bonjour, hello to everybody. Thank you for attending this short presentation. Hello Pascal too. My name is Frederic. I am an export sales manager for Champagne de Saint-Gall. And I want to give you a good overview of the various wine we are producing. So, what is Champagne de Saint-Gall? Champagne de Saint-Gall is the brand of 2,000 wine growers. We are a union of wine growers based on the best villages for Grand Cru and Premier Cru. This group was created in 1966 exactly in Ménil-sur-Oger. And today we are more than 2,000 wine growers and we are present on 11 villages. The aim of this group and the strategy was to be specialized in Grand Cru and Premier Cru. And so I think that we have reached a very nice achievement because we are maybe the biggest owner of Grand Cru and Premier Cru in Champagne. So Champagne de Saint-Gall can benefit from this fantastic grape supply. Our winery is based in Avize. I'm talking to you from Avize. So we are on 2 different terroirs. We are one terroir in the south, which is the Côte des Blancs, with the famous Chardonnay classified from Cramant, Avize, Auger, Ménil-sur-Oger, Vertu, and Berger-les-Vertus for the Premier Cru. So these are for the Chardonnay, and for the Pinot Noir, we have vineyards just in the north of Épernay, with the famous village of Fambonnet, Bouzy, Ailly for the Grand Cru, or Avenay-Val d'Or for the Premier Cru. So that's really the advantage of working with us and with Champagne de Saint-Gall. You have a fantastic sample of Grand Cru and Premier Cru and a very large range of champagne. Just a patchwork of various pictures. In the middle, you can see some pictures of the winery in Avize, some part of our reserve wine facilities. And the most important pictures is the one at the bottom, the second on the left. It's Cédric Jacopin, the cellar master of Champagne de Saint-Gall, that is working for the group for 20 years now. Alors, instead of talking about each wine in details. I want to give you a very quick overview of the range. This is the Tradition Premier Cru. This is our flagship, and this is a perfect picture of our vineyards, because we own basically 70% of Chardonnay and 30% of Pinot Noir. So we make this Tradition Premier Cru blend. And as you can see today, we are aging the Tradition for 4 years only. It's a Premier Cru, and that's really a product that represents a lot of our business for Champagne de Saint-Gall. Odile, if you can, okay, very good. So after the flagship, we have also a very nice range of Blanc de Blanc, because as I told you, as I present you, we have a lot of supply from Côte des Blancs. So three Blanc de Blanc. On the left, a Premier Cru, so very feminine, very aperitif. In the middle, a Grand Cru Blanc de Blanc vintage. Today we are on the 2012, but we are going to pass on the 2013. The supply is 4 villages, Ménil-sur-Oger, Oger, Avis, Cramant. And on the right, an Extra Brut, Grand Cru, from the same villages, but non-vintage. So quite a nice range of Blanc de Blanc. If you want to discover why a Chardonnay from Vertu is different from a Chardonnay from Ménil-sur-Oger, this is the product for you. This is influence range. So we have made 4 different champagne, 3 Blanc de Blanc and 1 Blanc de Noir, coming from different villages. So we have Vertu from Cramant, Auger, and Ambonnet. So it is delivered in a mixed case of 4 different champagne. So very interesting to understand the terroir of Champagne. After we have several rosé, but this one is our premium rosé. It's a rosé Grand Cru made with a very light skin maceration in Ambonnet. It's a Grand Cru, and it's a very small production. It's about 2,000 bottles per year, and it's 100% Pinot Noir. Orpal, this is the iconic cuvée of Champagne de Saint-Gall, the prestige cuvée. Orpal is aging minimum 12 years only. It's coming from the great village. It's a Blanc de Blanc, 100% Chardonnay. And it's coming from 4 different villages, Ménil-sur-Oger, Oger, Avis, Cramant. The thing is that we are releasing in 1 week this new vintage. We were on the vintage 204, and we are going to also to, as you can see, to launch a new packaging, a new design for this Orpal cuvée. And the price bracket of all the product I've presented to you start from 14 euro to 44 euro ex cellar for this prestige cuvée. Alors, all the champagne we have presented, I have presented to you, are multi-awarded. We are winning a lot of awards. We present, of course, every year the product to many different contests. Robert Parker, Mundus Vini in Germany, in Quebec, in Japan, in France, of course, in UK with Decanter. We are going to send the samples of the new vintage Orpal 2A to the main journalist in the United States in order to have the best rating possible for the launch of this new vintage. Of course, we have, as a brand, we have revamped the brand 3-4 years ago. and we have a team with some marketing possibility. We are quite active on the social media, Instagram and Facebook. We have, of course, some POS for the brand activation in the Horeca. We have also some gift box, of course, for the retail and the online retailers. So this I can describe that to you. Alors, as I told you, the price range is between 14 euro to 45 euro. Today we are present on the West Coast, in California, Washington, and Oregon, in some of the states. And what my intention is to, of course, develop the distribution among different states in the US. So, for example, Florida, Illinois, New York, we are not present, and these states represent a very high consumption for champagne. So thank you very much for your attention, and thank you very much, and I hope to meet you soon and be in touch soon via email. Thank you.
Super. Merci beaucoup, Frédéric.
Merci, Frédéric. Merci, Pascal.
So, do we have questions for Frédéric Bayoko, the Champagne de Saint-Gall?
I'm looking at on the chat.
Okay.
Not
So, yes,
maybe tomorrow.
there's the chat, or we can move to a different region.
Sure.
So thank you very much. Now we are leaving Champagne and we are traveling to Corsica, Upper Corsica, and we have with us Marie-Françoise de Vicky. Marie-Françoise, the floor is yours.
Bonjour tout le monde. Thank you for having me today. I really hope everyone is fine, well, as much as we can be. I am Marie-Françoise de Vic, sixth generation of Corsican winemaker in paradise, in mountain, in the sea, a beautiful island that is Corsica. I hope some of you have already visited. If you not, when we will be allowed to travel, I will be pleased to welcome and make you visit. So today I make a pause on my harvest time, so excuse me for the look and the place, to explain my work and my wine to you, because I'm not already represented in the United States. I'm a young winemaker, but I'm the sixth generation, and my family is one of the oldest winemaker family in Corsica. I make patrimoine, rouge, rosé, and blanc, and different expression of Muscat, sparkling or not. My brand is Mademoiselle D. I have the chance to have a huge community on social networks, Facebook, Instagram. Don't hesitate to follow me, and so you can see how I work every day and my journey and the landscape and everything. So here's the wine that I produce. You can see the packaging is colorful, chic, and drinking Corsican wine is like being on holidays for me. So we will begin with the Muscat. I use Muscat Petit Grain for both of the two wines. The still wine, here you can see the bottle. You have a really nice bright golden robe and expressive nose of yellow flower with toasted notes, light and lively. The grapey notes of the Muscat are expressed well. The finish is long and persistent, and the acidity is balanced. You can serve on an aperitif wine, like the sparkling one. The sparkling one, Liberta, is the name of the cuvée. It's mostly my favorite wine. The color is golden bright too, with fine and lightly pearly bubbles. Hints of bubbles like brioche, and typical note of muscat grape. The acidity is balanced, the sugar is low, and on the finish there is slight bitterness to drench the thirst. And then you want to have another glass of this. You can pair both of the muscat with foie gras, oysters, sushi, blue cheese, and it goes well with cigar. Or a great number of desserts like pineapple carpaccio, fruit pie, and mousse of marron glacé. I had the chance to, and some they like to make desserts that really perfect match with my muscat. For example, à la Signorie in Calvi, he got 1 star at the Michelin. They do a religieuse aux fruits exotiques with vanilla cream, and they serve it with Liberta, the sparkling one. And it's full assembled with everyone in the world, not even for Corsican people. With the sparkling, you can also do fantastic cocktail for if adding some mandarin or peach liqueur and the marvelous Corsican spritz with orange liqueur. Then I will present you the wine under the appellation of the area is classified Grand Site de France. It's like Mont Saint-Michel. For this wine, we use only Corsican grapes. Vermentine for the white that I'm harvesting right now. We have gorgeous grape this year. The color is yellow, straw clear, and shiny. The nose is intense, floral notes and fruity, almost citrus and agrumes. On the palate, the wine is dry but not too much, balanced and mineral, almost because of the clay limestone soil. The acidity makes it crispy and so very refreshing. It pairs with fish, meats, white meats almost, cheese with affinage like goat cheese, Corsican charcuterie, risotto, and many various risotto and pasta. My rosé 2019 recently won a recognition in the Guide Hachette des Vins de France. And for the last wine, the Mademoiselle D Red Patrimoine 2018, 100 Nieluch. Nieluch is a cuisine from the Sangiovese of Tuscany, and it's the king in the north in Corsica. It made the reputation of patrimonious wine, but I think they used to work it too hard and dark and austere, with too much tannins. I prefer let him express his fruitiness, red and blackberries, with spicy note like Corsican maki. The wine is dry, easy drinking, and are softened by the light and short extraction time. The persistence is long, and the finish brings aroma of nepeta. It's a Corsican flower, almost like oregano. But for me, it will seduce the nose, and I wish you could smell it. So don't hesitate to ask for samples. You can pair with grilled meat, tartare, soft cheese, and it can be served a little refreshed on terrace for end of summer aperitif with wine. So I repeat to you, I'm not imported in USA and will really love to. My vineyard is 42 hectares, so I have many bottles that I can send to US market. And I have many other cuvées, so don't hesitate to send me an email or ask me for more information. Thank you very much for your attention. I really wish you could test one right now, but we have to deal with this unprecedented situation, and we will be happy to send you sample. Merci beaucoup. Buonasera a tutti e a presto.
Excellent. Thank you very much, Marie-Françoise.
Bravo.
That was, I don't know if we couldn't see you, but I didn't want to stress you. It's okay. Maybe it's because you're in the harvest and you're not wearing your stilettos for us.
No, but I saw you the grape and I think it was okay. I don't know.
It was excellent. No problem. No problem. Hello. Now we can see you. It's okay. Yay! It's okay. Okay. Perfect. Thank you very much, Marie-Françoise. Do we have questions for her about the grapes, the Vermentino, the Nieluchu? I don't know if I'm pronouncing correctly. Wow. Okay. Excellent. Thank you very much. So if we don't have, merci, if we don't have more questions, we are leaving Corsica and we are traveling north and going to the Loire Valley and we have with us Julia Marquina from Château Guipierre. Julia.
Yes, bonjour Odile. Hello everybody. So welcome to Valette. So here we have not Muscat, but we have a good Muscadet. So my name is Julie and I'm an expert manager of Château Guipierre. So it's my pleasure to meet you here, even by video. And I hope that you are in a good mood and in a good health. So let's restart the presentation. So since 1842, our show produced the and Gamay. Our 28 hectares of wines based on the whole soil, filtering soil, which is therefore ideally situated for plantation of wines. Our domain produced about 200,000 bottles per year. But this year, this is going to be more generous because we weren't frozen. Actually, Loire Valley wineries are consistently frozen since 5 years because of climate changes, but this year it will be great. So since 2017, our chateau is labeled the high environmental value certificate, which means that we preserve biodiversity, use only organic products for the treatment, and manage water resources. We produce Muscadet of new generation. What does it mean? Actually, for a long time, Muscadet wasn't appreciated and respected as much as it is now. Now we have a new image of Muscadet thanks to the vine growers like us who elaborate a new style of Muscadet that has a nice balance and good structure with a good aging potential. So we can move to our range of wines. So we use a large range of wines. They are all different, but thanks to Atlantic Ocean, which is just near to our domain, they have one mutual characteristic. Remarkably salty and a little bit iodine, long-lasting finish. So it comes from the terroir of near the Atlantic Ocean. So today I'm glad to briefly present you some core of our production, the famous Muscadet Sèvres-Maine-sur-Ly. And the first one is the Clos de Marinière. I will not give you a lot of details about the color, about this, about the pairings. I just would like to say that on lease for 6 months in order to obtain a typical classical Muscadet appellation wine. It's a light mineral flesh wine. It's a sure value of our domain. Donc this one. And the next one, it's Lagrange Old Wines 2018. It's our bestseller in different countries. We make this wine with traditional methods and matron on lease for 1 year in order to obtain very elegant, beautifully balanced Muscadet. This wine is so good and easy to drink that it was selected by American Airlines for its business class flights for 2020. Unfortunately, there is no flights actually, but if you have this possibility to take a plane with American Airlines, don't forget to ask a glass of white wine and discover our hidden beauty. We made an offer for this wine this autumn, so it's 30 euros per case, 48 euros normally. Let's move to Latour. Latour, thank you. So it's with its matron on lease for 10 months, is a well-structured and rich Muscadet. So, and as you can see on the labels, we put all historical pictures of all historical buildings here of Chateau Guipierre. So we have this tower just here at Chateau Guipierre. And the last one is Krugoulen. No, not this one. It's a Krugoulen. This one, thank you. So it's rare pearl in the Loire Valley in the Muscadet region. It's entirely manually harvested, and with metronome lease for 2 years, it permits us to obtain a full-bodied and intense muscat occasions. So now we export a lot. Actually, we work with different countries. We work with Russia, we work with Estonia, with the United Kingdom, and we work with California in the United States. So we are searching for new partners at the territory of the United States, excluding California. And I finish in my today's presentation, hoping that we will meet in person in the near future. But meanwhile, if you want to taste our wines or you have some questions, feel free to contact me. You have all my contacts. So thank you for your attention. Have a nice day and take care. Goodbye.
Excellent. Merci, Julia. So, do we have questions for Julia Marquina? Okay, so one of the wines, it was Krugoulen, I guess, that was tasted in the APVSA selection that got very good. No, there were two, Lagrange and Krugoulen. I don't hear you. Okay.
Excuse me. So it was two first wines that I presented.
Exactly. Yes. Okay. Thank you very much, Julia. If we don't have questions, we can move to not far from you, but it's in the Loire Valley. And now we have Domaine de Villargeau, which is in the Coteau du Giennois, close to Gien. Mark, are you ready?
Yes, I am.
Perfect. The floor is yours. The microphone is yours. We cannot dance here. Bye.
Hi, everyone. I am Mark. I am very pleased to speak with you just before starting harvest next week. I hope you are safe.
I'm sorry, just one comment. We don't see you. Is that normal or is because of your Wi-Fi? Because we don't see you. Just so you know it. Keep on, but we don't see you.
So okay, so it's on my screen, but I don't know. So I hope you are safe, and I hope that it's possible for you to continue your business. Have you ever heard about Coteau du Giennois? So Coteau du Giennois is a young appellation. It is just located in the center of the Loire Valley, just near the renowned appellation Sancerre and Pouilly-Fumé. So Coteau du Giennois is composed by a number of hillsides, and on the top of hillsides, we can have some difference in specific terroir that is wonderful for us to express the richness and the powerful of the land. So who is Domaine de Villargeau? Domaine de Villargeau is managed by two brothers and a family. So we are a family business. We are the fourth generation of the family business. And we work on a farm which was started in 1920. We started the wine, my uncle and my father started the wine production in 1991. And we continue with my brother to have a part of production of wine is my job. And we also produce different cereals. So on the Villargeau domain, we are already distributed in the US. So you can see we already are in New York City, Washington, DC, Maryland, Massachusetts. So our wines are well renowned in certain places in US. We are looking for new markets like California, Oregon, Washington, North and South Carolina, Georgia, etc. You can have a look. So we would be pleased to introduce our wines in new places. We can continue the video. So on our domain, we have got different products. All our wines are Côte du Giennois wines, and we are going to focus on Sauvignon Blanc, our white wines. That is 75% of our products. The first one, Côte du Giennois 2019, Villargeau white wine. So that is our main cuvée. That is Sauvignon on 2 different soils, mainly flint soils. We obtain minerality, and on the second soil, it's from chalk soils. So when we blend them, we obtain a pale yellow wine with an aromatic and intense bouquet on the nugget, on the trucks, lilac, and a little bit of eucalyptus. On the second nose, we can smell peach, orange, and in the mouth, you can have a round mouth, orange citrus, and it's a very persistent wine on the grapefruit. So that's our flagship, and all our importers work with already with this wine. I can introduce you now the 2 different cuvées from our single vineyard. The first one is called Les Abeilles. That means the bees. The bees are coming into the vineyard during end of spring and help for the blossom. Sorry. So they help us to make the grapes. So this cuvée is just from flint soil, and that's offer wines with a very open nose, with quince past and jammy fruits. We can also smell white fruits aromas and lees. On the mouth, it's very fresh, and we have a mouth in harmony with the nose. We can finish on the white fruits, the mandarin, and on the grapefruit. It's a white wine with minerality, which is nice to drink with seafood. The opposite soil is marl, on Chimeregian marl. So that offers the Sans Complexe cuvée, which is our last cuvée. We offer the 2018 vintage for the moment, and that is at the top to drink. We have got an expression which is a limestone expression, quite intense, vanilla notes and hazelnut notes. We can also smell pear aromas, mandarin, and spices like cardamom. In the mouth, it's very fresh, citrus, round mouth, and very elegant bitterness, which offer an aromatic persistence. So it's a very high level Sauvignon Blanc from our region. And to finish the presentation of our white wines, I introduce you the heritage cuvée that is called Fernand & Sons cuvée. Fernand was my grandfather who started the domain beginning of the 90s. And that is why we offer a new space, a new place, a new vineyard for this cuvée, which is from flint soil, and the subsoil is also flint. So it's full flint. And for this cuvée, we obtain more ester and kiwi fruit. Then appears peach, pear aromas, and some fermentation notes. In the mouth, it's a very dense attack, a round mouth with a nice volume. We also smell ester and exotic to finish on the grapefruit. So that's a good tribute to Fernand. Just a note now, a quick note to show you the characteristics of the price and the volume which is available. So the main cuvée, the Côte du Giennois white wines, the first one is €4.50 the bottles. And for every wine, we offer 5% of free samples to help for promoting. For the second cuvée, which is from Flint, we offer we have got 5,000 bottles, and the price is €5.50 the bottle for more seafood wines. The third wine is Sans Complexe Cuvée, and there is a little bit mistake because it's written 550, but it's not 550 ex-work euros. I am sorry, it's 6.90 the bottles, 6.90 the bottles. And for the last cuvée, but not the least, Fernand & Son, which is an incredible offer, which is €4.80 the bottles. So we offer you a diversity of terroir and diversity of Sauvignon Blanc in the area of Sancerre. To conclude, just a list of different awards we earn on the different cuvées. We earn lots of medals in France mainly, but also in England, like International Wine Challenge or Decanter Review, where we had some very nice comments during a testing of Sauvignon Blanc from Loire Valley, and we were just in the same testing with Sancerre or Pouilly Fumé, with a good level of description. So thank you for everything. I can also just tell you that we are in organic, sustainable, organic viticulture way. For the moment, we are in sustainable viticulture, which is certified by Terravitis. And we have already done 1 year of conversion in organic viticulture. And we would offer some new wines in organic viticulture in the next 2 years. So thank you for your attention, and wish you all the best for the next half of 2020.
Super, merci beaucoup, Marc. I'm sorry, I'm going to correct this, the price. Okay, you send me an email to make the change.
Okay, it's well done on the catalog. It's the white price. It's
okay,
just on
and the
this
catalog is
presentation.
okay. Perfect. I'm sorry for this. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
So do we have? I see that Michael has question. Is it? I see you're raising the hand on the chat box. If not, we can move to. If no questions for Marc, we can move to Provence. And Olivier Sénard will join us to present his cuvées. And guys, please, we are almost running out of time. So stick to your 6 minutes. Thank you very much. Olivier, c'est à vous. So we will skip Olivier, and is Laurence ready? If you're ready, Laurence, you can start.
Yes, I'm ready.
Perfect. So the floor is yours. Thank you.
Hello.
Hello. Good morning. Welcome to Château Pas du Cerf in Provence. We are located between Marseille and Nice, near Saint-Tropez, and about 2 hours from Italian border.
There is excuse me to stop you. We hear an echo. Do you have comment on dit les écouteurs? Because we hear a sort of echo, like your voice is being heard twice.
Yes,
so maybe
but I
you
don't have
2 devices. No. Okay. So let's do it.
I'm sorry. We are a Provence artisan winemaker. Château Pas du Cerf is an 80 hectares vineyard managed by 3 sisters, and that's the generation, it's 8048, that having this vineyard. We have 80 hectares in organic reconversions since last year. So it means that in 2 years, we will have 80 hectares certified by Ecosphere. So we will be able to have only organic wines. At the moment, we have 8 hectares already organic. So we can do 1 rosé wines, Diane, which is here, which is an organic rosé wine. We produce 400,000 bottles, and among that, 80% of rosé. That's why I'm going to speak about more rosé wines than the other colors today. We do 15% of red wines and 5% of white wines. Our soil is schist, so we have a lot of minerality in our rosé wines. It's very important also to say that we control every step from the vine to the final bottles. All our AOP wines are produced, blended, and bottled by ourselves with our grapes. And that's one of the 3 sisters, Diane, which is the winemaker. I insist about this point because now so many people are selling rosé from Provence, coming from everywhere. We are a real Provence family producer doing rosé with our grapes. Which is perhaps very interesting for you is this year we have our signature cuvée, Château Pas du Cerf, you will see later, with a degree alcohol which is superior to 14.1 degrees. So no tax for these rosé wines. Well, normally I used to travel to Europe and to the States and Canada, but of course this year it was compromised with the COVID situation. So I hope I will be able to come back to the US and we'll be able to meet one of the people which is hearing me this afternoon. One of the characteristics of this estate is that we have a typical Provence grapes we use in our rosé wines, which is Tibourin. I will speak about that a bit later when I approach the blending of every wines. So we propose 3 AOP Côte de Provence for you and 1 IGP du Var, which is named Club, for the US market. We just launched IQVs, which we call les grandes cuvées in French, about 2 or 3 days. So if people want more information about these products, I can send you by mail. Just for information, we began the harvest 3 days ago. So I'm not in the cellar because we are quite busy at the moment. So perhaps, Odile, can we speak about the wines? First, Château Pas du Cerf. Château Pas du Cerf is our signature cuvée. So you've got it in 75 centiliters. Is also available in Magnum and in Jeroboam. It's a mini blend of Grenache, 80%, with Tibourin, these special Provençal grapes, with 20%. All our rosé wines are very pale color. This one has salmon tints with silver tints too on the border. It's very precise and bright. It has an intense nose with spices and citrus fruits aromas like lemon, grapefruit, and sometimes peach. We can also smell licorice and acacia, and the tasting is supple, coated with freshness. The fresh finals is the pure expression of the chisel soil of the estate. It means that we have really, it is a mineral rosé wines. So you've got this product in the 3 colors, also in white with mainly blend of Roll, which is the same as Vermentino grape. And it's blended with a bit of claret. And in red wines, we have a main blend of Syrah with Grenache. That's a beautiful red wines for autumn and winter time too. So this cuvée is the gastronomic cuvée of the vintage, of the estate, sorry. So it's for gastronomic restaurants. It goes very well with spicy food, fishes, of course, all dishes from Mediterranean countries with garlic, and also with scallop with olive oils. That's a beautiful blend. The red wines is lovely with beef and also white boar. We have actually in the estate, which is quite a problem in Provence because it eats all the grapes. So we have to put fences all around the vineyard to avoid animals to eat the grapes before the harvest. So that's first our signature and gastronomic rosé, and that's this rosé wine, which is exempted from the tax. Then we have the second cuvée, which is Diane. Diane, we also have it in Magnum and in 75 centiliters. Diane is the name of the three sisters of owners of the vineyard, and Diane is the winemaker. That's vintage we propose in the three colors too. And for the red wine, the rosé wine, sorry, that's a blend of mainly three grapes: Cinsault, Grenache, and Tibourin, 30% of each, and 10% of Mourvèdre, which gives more spicy aromas. That's the grapes you have in bundle wines. The color is very pale, with grey crystalline reflex, very fresh, fine, delicate, and feminine, and it will reveal fruits and iodine touch. It's a supple vine, silky, round, suave, and perfectly undefined by the light acidity. It is what I explain, a greedy wine. This vintage is a greedy vintage. So easy to drink, very round, very fruity, with intense pomelos aromas in mouth, with a great final of fresh fruits. It's precise and elegant. Do not forget that all our wines are blended by a woman, and I think it means that they are very well balanced, very elegant, very easy to drink. And we say for the high cuvée for red wines, for example, that's like a velvet glove in iron hand. That's an expression in French, but that's exactly the truth for this type of wines. Diane also is the only rosé wines we have in organic certification. So if people are looking for organic wines, we can propose this product. All the other wines we are producing since last year can be labeled organic reconversion. So because before we were in sustainable farming. So that's the second one. The third AOP Côte de Provence one we can propose is Merlin. Merles mean blackbird. And do not forget, we are in a huge estate in the countryside with 700 hectares around of oak trees, with a lot of birds blowing around, and it's quite nice. So we have a lot of blackbirds too. So Merle is our easy drink AOP rosé wines. It's simple and friendly. We sell a lot to restaurants in Europe and also in some states in the US, because it's easy to drink. It's very fruity. Sometimes people are selling by glass in restaurants because the price is good. So it's a right product for this aim. So the blend of the rosé wine is mainly Grenache and Cinsault with a bit of Syrah and Tibourin. But that's mainly Grenache in that blending. It also has a very pale rosé color with bright, intense color. It's very round. It has a very fine nose, charming, with a lot of touch of vine peach and fennel. in mouth. It is supple, it is a light wine and delicate and with a fresh acidity. And it is underlined by nice exotic aromas. It's an easy drink product, so easy to sell because the price is quite interesting. And for an EOP, I think it's a good compromise when you need a product not very expensive for your market. And finally, we have an IGP Vin de Pays du Var, which is quite a fun bottle because it has alveols inside. We've got it also in Magnum. That's the second one we have. And it has a nice bay color. It's the typical wines for terraces, bars, for barbecues, for having a drink with friends. When you want to drink something, it's hot like today, and well, you don't want something too strong. It's a lovely wine. It's round in mouth with aromas of peach and apricot, with a fresh final which balances the mouth and refreshes your palate. It's very the wine for pleasure. That's what we call in French, vin de soif. That's the two types of rosé wines you can have in Provence, gastronomic rosé and vin de soif. So, well, I hope you were interested in our wines. We already work in some states in the US. We are present in New York, New Jersey, Washington, D.C., Delaware, Virginia, Maryland, Connecticut, North Carolina, Georgia, Oregon, Washington, in some place in Florida. But we are still looking for some of the states I didn't notice. So if some of you are interested in our wines, you can get in touch with me by mail or by WhatsApp to that number. We also project to go next year to Millésime Bio, to Wine Paris in February, and in Bohewine in March. Of course, if it's possible to travel. So you're also welcome to the estate if you're able to travel to Europe. Thank you very much to all.
Thank you. Sorry, we will have the questions, I guess, on the chat because we are running out of time. Thank you. Now we will skip to Olivier Lagois, Domaine de Lagois. Are you ready?
Yes, I am.
Thank you, Olivier.
Yes. Well, my name is Olivier Sonnard, and I'm managing the Domaine de Lagois, which is a large estate in Saint-Rémy de Provence. It is a family-owned domain since 1677, and we are organic. Our vineyard is organic since 2001. Our appellation is IGP Alpille. So our harvest has just started, and our policy is to only harvest ripe grapes to get the benefits most of the flavors. And this obviously translates in rather high alcoholic content. Most of our wines, of our still wines, are above 14 degrees. We have mostly two kinds of ranges. One is the cuvée classique in the three colors, and the other is the cuvée de la Chapelle. And these wines I'm going to present to you at least two from each. And also we have sparkling organic rosé wines for Christmas. We have no importers yet in the US. So I could start with the Classique Blanc, which got a gold medal in Paris this year. It is great varieties are Viognier, Chardonnay, and Sauvignon in rather equal proportion. Alcoholic content is slightly more than 14 degrees. It's an expressive wine with an intense nose with yellow fruit flavors, and also floral flavors like broom and verbena. A balanced mouth, and the yellow fruit, exotic fruit overtones stay present and lengthen the finale. This was our white. The other classique is the red classique. This is 14.5 alcohol content, and as our other reds, it is a blend of mostly Merlot, Syrah, and Marcelin. It's very warm. It's a warm wine, as I would say, and it's balanced with mellowing tannin and a red fruit with notes of blackberry, cherry, and bramble. There's a long finish with the same fruits as in the nose. This wine got a silver medal in Paris this year. Another red is the red Cuvée de la Chapelle. It's a slightly more elaborate wine, 14.5. Again, Marcelin, Syrah, and Merlot in different proportions, with Cabernet Sauvignon and Grenache in smaller proportions. This wine is also an elegant wine, well balanced and structured wine with mellowing tannins, spicy notes of pepper, licorice, vanilla, brambles are following, and with also toasted overtones. Next wine, I will switch then to the Rosé La Chapelle. Rosé wines are well awarded in the get recognition in the Guy d'Achette. We had this year a star in the Guy d'Achette. So this Cuvée de la Chapelle is also about 14 degrees. It's an elegant wine. It's gastronomic wine. It goes with good meals, not only international meals, but also Asiatic meals. The grapes are Grenache, mostly Grenache, 75%, 15% Cinsault, and 10% Merlot. We finally have, as I mentioned to you, some rosé organic sparkling wines. One of them is it's like a champagne method called Méthode Provençale, and the other one is Brut Nature, and the other one is sweet wine with low alcoholic content. We have no importers yet in the States. We have been approached, and we are also discussing, but nothing is. It's just moving. It's a moving process. So we would be certainly ready to put at least 3% samples in what we send in the first pallets, and obviously, depending on the amount of the wine shipped, we are certainly ready to come over and help promotion of our wine. And our American friends are most welcome in Provence, in Saint-Rémy, if they come when the planes will fly again. Well, I think this was we have an FDA number already because we have already sold to the States, but not. We are looking for more long-term relationship with importers. If you have any questions.
Excellent. Thank you very much, Olivier. This is a tough exercise, right? So, if you, which are the states that you were looking for? In which states you are already located?
No, have no importers in
Okay. Okay, perfect. So all states are open. Excellent. Thank you very much, Olivier. So if you have questions, people, the audience, if you have questions, please send them through the chat box. So now we are moving to Savoie-Bugey. Savoie-Bugey is an underrated wine region. And today we have Franck Glezal with us. Franck, thank you. It's your turn. So Franck doesn't seem to be ready. So are we ready for Les Vignerons du Buzet?
Oui.
Okay, awesome. So let's move to Les Buzet.
All right. So because we are in harvest season, I will be doing presenting Nous les Vignerons du Buzet. We're going to present 3 wines today, but I want to tell you a little bit about this company first. It's really cool. The appellation Buzet is halfway from Bordeaux and Toulouse in the center of the Southwest. The Nous les Vignerons Buzet is a cooperative of producers producing 95 of the appellation, and they're proud of their sustainable viticulture. So on average in a year, they produce 12 million bottles. Their approach is preserving the soil, restoring biodiversity, and optimum management of resources, particularly water and tradition, which is really important in terms of agriculture. And now we're really trying to preserve the environment and sustainability. So it's a really cool mission statement for the vineyard. And so their baseline is sustainable, organic, vegan, no added sulfite wines. Their vineyard's also bee friendly. The wine growers do everything that they can to protect the biodiversity and the bees that are in the area, which are hit by a lot of chemicals. The first of the 3 wines, it's a cuvée called Velupi. It's 14.5%. It's a blend of 50% Merlot, 25% Cabernet Franc, 25% Cabernet Sauvignon. It's going to be launched in September. It's a vegan wine, and 1% of the proceeds are going towards the planet. It's got 16.5 by Janice Robinson, so really good reviews. It's a traditional 20-day vinification, aged in vats and unoaked. The color is a deep crimson, rich and healthy on the nose with the ripe black and red fruits, round and less tannic than most of the Buzet reds. It's really easy to drink. So we'll move on to the next one. It's called Sans, which in French means without, because it's actually made without sulfites, any sulfates. And the color is really deep purple. On the nose, it's in a medium plus intensity, mainly primary aromas. It's a festival of red, black, ripe fruits with both red and black currant, blueberries, cranberries. The palate's really youthful and dry. The acidity is medium, and the tannins are medium to a medium plus. It's 14.1%, and the intensity is primary flavors. It's a really fruit-forward wine, and the finish is medium. It's ready to drink, but can also be aged in a good cellar for a few years. And it's best served at 16 degrees. Good with Mediterranean cuisine, mushroom risotto. Sounds like a really delicious wine to have with dinner. Okay, so the next one is called Baron d'Albret, which I'll present. And this one is made with really high standards of grape selection. The way that they produce the wine is by harvesting during the Appalachian's finest terroir, and when grapes are at full maturity. Trying to extract fine tannins while preserving the grape's fruitiness. It's divided into 2 batches, where one ages in controlled temperature vats and the other ages in oak barrels. The result is this wine, and the nose opens with notes of black fruit, like black currants, blackberries, followed by a subtle oakiness, vanilla, and toasted overtones, so really warm flavors there. And then on the palate, the wine is dry, full-bodied, round with a powerful structure provided by fine, silky tannins. It's really lovely on the palate, and very elegant. It's a very elegant and distinguished wine. So thank you so much. If you do want to contact Frédéric Burlot, the export manager, she's very professional. Highly recommend this wine. They're doing really amazing work in promoting sustainability and organic wines. So give them if you have any questions, you can ask us or contact them directly. Okay. Thanks so much for listening, guys.
Thank you, Elliot.
Oh, sorry, I mentioned price because I didn't say that, but the 3 that I just mentioned are at 2.35 euros to maximum 2.85 euros. So it's really affordable. All right, thanks.
Thank you very much. So, is Frank ready? Frank? Are you ready, please? Sinon...
Can you see me?
Voilà. Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we.
Yes? Very good. Excellent. So, hello to my friends of America. Hello to my friends of America. I am Frank Blazel, the owner of the Domaine de Bel Air Grand Colombier, and I'm teaming up with 2 fantastic magicians of the vine and the wine. We have Pierre-Alain Vionnet on the right, and we have Régis Molek on the left. Hello. And together we grow this fantastic wine called Domaine de Bel Air Grand Colombier. We are located in the French Alps, very, very close from Geneva. The Romans 2,000 years ago started to put vine on our land, and my family is managing and having this property since 1845, which is absolutely special in our land. It is made of stones. As you can see, this is a fossil, wonderful fossil. We have thousands of it in our land because it's a very, 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 it's a land made of stones. This stones is great because our vines go with the roots very, very deep in the land to get all the water coming from the big mountain we have above us. So we never suffer of drought, and this is fantastic. We are high environmental value. We started the process to become organic. We have already achieved 1 year. It's a 3 years process. And we have 6.5 hectares. We produce more or less 35,000 bottles every year. We have 70% Chardonnay, 15% red Pinot, and 50% of something absolutely very, very special. You have only in our land, in our place, which is the Mondeuse. If I have to define what we are, I can say that maybe we are likely to be the best in the world to produce Chardonnay, because our land is the best in the world for Chardonnay. We are full south, very high. at the foot of the Grand Colombier, and we know how to make the best Chardonnay in the world. By the way, our place is very, very special because every year, the 14th of July, we have the last stage of the Tour de France. And they go from our place to our vineyard, and they climb up to the Grand Colombier. It's 10 to 15% climbs. It's very, very difficult. 21 kilometers. They do it in 1 hour. Those guys are crazy. So it's very, very special because it's very, very well known, and it's such a wonderful place. So wonderful that the Tour de France is coming every year for the 14th. We actually have to present you a few wines. First of all, this is our tradition. Chardonnay, 100% steel barrel only. We like it very much. This wine has got the silver medal of the Ministry of Agriculture Competition 2020. Great reward. Our second wine is a Chardonnay called Seduction. It is steel barrel only plus malolactical fermentation. Absolutely good, gorgeous. A taste of grape, very good. And because we have to cover all the tastes of the market, we have our exception, which is steel barrel, malolactical fermentation, plus 12 months in oak barrel, because many people like oak barrel, but we like steel barrel. We do a special, very, very special red wine, the Mondeuse. It's a grape you find only in our area. Very special, very fruitful, a very, very special taste. And from this grape, we are the only one in the world to produce a rosé coming 100% from the Mondeuse. This rosé is absolutely gorgeous, so sweet, so good, and you can drink it like mineral water. You know, it's fantastic for during summer when you have got some friends at home. You can drink it like water. It's really great. Light wines, soft. We like wines at 12.5 degrees, and we produce a fantastic Pinot, which is absolutely good. A taste of fantastic grape. This grape we have in our land, which is giving a juice so fruitful. Absolutely fantastic. Now, I'm going to present you our offer. Our offer is very, very strong because we know that times are tough in America, tough everywhere in the world, and maybe especially tough for wine growers and for wine distributors and wine importers. So, first of all, our price list is very convenient. We make convenient pricing because we want to be aggressive in order to help you to bring our wine in America. So tradition is €6 ex-work. The exception, a little bit higher, €9 ex-work. The rosé is very, very, very convenient, €5. The Mondeuse is only €7. And the Pinot, which is so good and as good as a very, very good Burgundy, is only €6. So first part of the offer, very convenient price. Second part of the offer, for the next 24 months, starting with the first order before the end of this year, for the next 24 months, for 4 boxes of 12 you purchase, we give you one free. It's a 4 plus 1. This is going to help you to fight against the duties, the Trump and the French wine, you know? 4 plus 1 free for 24 months, starting with the first order. Third part of our offer, First, convenient price. Second, 4+1. Third, if we sell more than 3,000 bottles in America in the next months, next 12 months, and next 24 months, we offer you free of charge for 4 people coming from America to Bel Air. You take a flight for Geneva. I go to pick you up at the airport in Geneva, and you come here the 4th of July, and you attend the Tour de France from my place. Everything will be paid. I will take you to the best restaurant. If we have some golfers, we could play golf together. We could on the lake and make ski on the lake, go fishing, all free of charge. We just have to go over 3,000 bottles in America, and the first 2 sellers will be rewarded with this trip to attend the Tour de France. All right, my friends. So we want to thank you very, very much. We hope that you will be happy to get in contact with us in order to start a business and partnership together. And with my friends, we would like, because we are French and we love very, very much America. I used to live in America many years, in San Francisco, in New York. We love your country. So my friend, God bless
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, Frank. Thank you very much. You deserve the kudos. Very nice presentation. Thank you very much. So our last presenter, Anne, are you ready, Anne?
Yes, I'm here. Hello. Hello, everybody.
Thank you, Anne. The floor is yours.
Hello, I hope you're fine and coping with the situation and now the Hurricane Laura and everything. So our job is to provide good wines. We'll continue this to support everybody. I am Anne Rivière and I work for several family domains from the south of France. I deal with their export sales. And today I chose to present 2 domains which are not distributed and imported in the USA. So we're completely open. And I think the wines will be good for your portfolio. It is Domaine Grand Chêne in Gaillac, the wines here, and a Provence wine domain, which is Château Saint-Julien here. So I start with the Gaillac wines from Domaine Grand Chêne. So here we are in the southwest of France. It's a family estate for 3 generations. And what is interesting here is particularly the fact that they work with native grapes. So you will be able to make a difference with the native grapes, which are Mauzac, Duras, Brocol, Loin de l'Oeil. And most of the cuvées are 100% of one certain grape. Start with the sparkling wine, which is here 100% Mauzac, which is méthode ancestrale gaillacoise. So méthode ancestrale, it means that the wine starts its fermentation in tanks, but before the end of the fermentation, it is put into bottles. So it starts the fermentation again, and the bubbles are trapped in the bottle, hence the gas. So you have a nice heavy bottle with very fine and elegant bubbles, as you can see. And with the Mauzac, we have green apple aromas, some pear. So a very refreshing sparkling wine, which is easy drinking, balanced with 1.2 grams of sugar. So well balanced, easy drinking, and a good opportunity to share a glass of sparkling wine. The price is only €5.25, so you can have this pleasure for a very reasonable price. In the range from Domaine Grand Chêne, there are white wines, a rosé, and 3 red wines. And I chose to present you 2 of the red wines as well, in addition to the sparkling. La sélection Style Julien here, and Cuvée Insolence here. There were both silver medals at Concours Général Agricole de Paris this year. Here at the domain, we work in organic standards, though non-certified for the moment, but only products allowed in organic agriculture. All wines are vegan friendly with indigenous yeast, so we are much focused on the environment and the roots and the terroir. The Cuvée Insolence here, which is more than 14 degrees, so you can put on the label 14.1, is 100% Duras with the very fruity nose and mouth, ripe red berries, a little white pepper as well. So it's easy drinking, smooth. Very nice to share a glass with friends on a terrace, or to drink on its own, or with food such as charcuterie, poultry, cheese, etc. And here, Sélection Aristide Julian is Duras, Brocol, and Syrah. So 2 native grapes and Shiraz, which is more famous. Here it's mainly it's mainly black currant, a very nice black currant aroma, a lot of elegance, a good length in the mouth. The wine is aged in oak for 6 months. It's well balanced and with very soft tannins. And in the range, as I said, there are also white wines and a rosé, enough dry white and a sweet white wine. So a very complete range for prices starting just over €3 ex-cellar and finishing at 6. So very affordable wines. And it will allow you make a difference with these native grapes and these boutique wines. The second domain of the association is Château Saint-Julien. It's located in Le Var, in La Selle. And here we have the 3 colors in 2 different lines of products. The Château Saint-Julien line itself, and then the Exception range, which is our more gastronomical range. As we have little time, I will focus on the Château Saint-Julien range as it's our main volumes. When I present this rosé in international fairs, I'm often said by importers coming and visit my booth after, oh, it was the best in the price category of all the rosé from Provence, which were presented in the Provence area, because it's just under €4 ex-cellar. And so it's always considered a very good value. Here we are starting organic certification next month, actually in September this year, and we are already working with the organic standards. So you have a very pale Provence rosé. I'm trying to show you on the webcam. What we wanted with this rosé was pleasure wine, so one which could be enjoyed on its own, once again on a terrace with friends, which you could sip or drink with food. And it's the same spirit for our white wine, which is over there, which is Roll and Grenache. Both are fruity, aromatic. In the rosé, it's Syrah, Grenache, Cinsault, and raspberry aromas, citrus, exotic fruit. And in the white wine, it will be more white flowers and peach. So white flowers, white fruit. And both are great to drink on their own or a fresh drink, but also a very good fruit. And as for the red Château Saint-Julien, here it is Grenache, Syrah, and Cabernet Sauvignon. It got a gold medal at Paris this year, and it was the same for the white, which has got gold medal at Paris and gold medal at Concours des Vins de Provence this year, and the silver Concours de Paris for the rosé. So the red wine, it is Grenache Syrah Cabernet Sauvignon, as I said. It's aged in oak for 6 months. And so the aromas, leather, pepper, dark fruit. It's a very straightforward wine. And once again, it's 14 point something. So it can be labeled 14 point wine, for example. And so with this domain, Chateau Saint-Julien here, you have very good wines for a very competitive price. What is important to say as well is as the export sales manager of both domains, I have plenty of time to support you, to visit you when it is possible again. So the winemakers have time to work in the vineyard, in the cellar, and I do the sales support. So we'll be happy to visit you and welcome you at the domains as well. And yes, as for the offer, we also supply free samples and help promotional objects as well, and this kind of support. Thanks for listening, for waiting for me, the last one to speak, and do take care of yourselves. Do take care. Bye-bye.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
So thank you, everybody, for joining us. Pascal, would you like to say something for the closing?
Yes, sure. Hello, everybody. So I want to say to you thank you for all this time. It was more long than we think. And if you need now some sample, you can speak directly with the vine grower or you ask to us. And I see some people, they do some advertising, they talk about the possibility for import the wine, etc. It's good. And I know some people want to speak, like Mr. Hernandez. I think you are here, Mr. Hernandez from San Francisco?
Yes, I'm here.
Hello, Mr. Hernandez.
Hello. Oh.
Hello, welcome. Can you explain what you want to say?
Yes, on the last round, some were very good about samples. I'll just call out Guy from Rouen in Alsace. So the importers that I work with, they're of course very busy. None of them can get over to France right now. I can't get over there. I already missed 2 trips this year so far to Beaune and Champagne. So samples are really important, and also making it easy for the importer. They really don't want to have to go through and get COLA waivers and do a lot of paperwork. So if it's easy, if we can set up the samples to where you send them to the importer with easy paperwork or no paperwork is best, then they'll take it and they'll try the wine. But we're faced with a lot of competition right now. Yes, the tariffs they're bad. We hope that will change in November, please. But they're getting wine samples from all over the world all the time. So it's the only way that they can try the wine. They won't commit to purchasing wine in advance until after they try it and evaluate it with their staff. So I just wanted to put that out there. The easier it can be to get them samples, the easier the process. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, John. So this is the end of the show. Some buyers want to talk. I see Artie, you are here. A lot of people from New York, from California. Do you have some message for us? You are discreet. Okay. So thank you. Odile, c'est toi.
Okay.
Merci, Pascal. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, John, for your input. This is very important because, indeed, no taste, no samples, no business. This is definitely.
And thank you all
Okay.
for your time as well. This was very informative. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Yes, it's the first time that we run like this out of time. And well, I hope it won't happen again. Thank you, everybody. This will be recorded. This will be available for those who arrive a little bit later, and you will be able to see the first wine growers from Germany, from Italy. Enjoy the rest of the day and your week. And we are really thinking about all those people struggling in what is Texas and Louisiana. So I don't know if we have buyers there. I don't think so, but all these people are in our thoughts. And have a good day.
Au revoir.
So
Au revoir, tout le monde.
yes, and I will do some publicity. These are the next events. So we have a special event for sparkling, one for Bacchus Muses. It's only vigneron, only woman. One for orange wines, rare grapes. If you're interested in rare grapes, we will do another one, and wines from Amphora. Have a good day. Take care of yourselves.
Merci pour tout.
Merci. Bye bye.
Merci à tous.
Merci. Thank you very much. Bye.